Yo, what's poppin'? Dungeon Meshi, episode 3. I'm Totes. I think last week we had some audio issues. I double checked some of my setup and I think I should be good to go, but no guarantees. But yeah, last episode we had some armor eating. Not necessarily armor eating, because we ate mollusk, but they lived in armor, so, you know, armor eating, yeah. Um, I don't actually remember what happens next in the manga. I'm assuming it's more like shenanigan stuff. I'm assuming they're just gonna go out, they're gonna find another monster, and they're gonna cook it. And that's gonna be the episode. Like I said, Dungeon Meshi, I love Dungeon Meshi, but a lot of it is like, you know, just cooking. It is a lot of cooking. And it's a lot of like the slice of life. They're going into the dungeon and they're like, oh, umai, umai, you know. I don't find that bad. I loved it. Some people might not like it too much because it is a little bit, more meandering than most plots. Um, but to me personally, Dungeon Meshi is really just about sort of the character interactions and how fun some of these characters can be. Like Senshi, is a very fun character. I love seeing him on the screen. So yeah, let's see what this show has in store for us. So without further ado, let's begin the reaction. Golden Castle. Yeah, I guess that happened because of all the adventures just going deep inside, stripping that shit. Marcia with the light spell. Okay, she's useful. Are we gonna eat a golem? Oh my god, let's eat a golem, please. No? Maybe not, like, maybe we don't eat a golem, but we can, like, grab something on top of the golem. Oh! Ah, okay. Yeah, it sounds like an awful place to try to scavenge. Yo, they've got, like, moss and shit on it. We're gonna take the golem and farm. Yeah, nutritious. God damn. Oh, so this is how, like, Senshi gets all these, like, fresh veggies and shit. I always assumed he was, like, scavenging them, like, off the fucking walls or something. Does he have just... Oh my god, the poor golem! He's enslaved one of them. Oh, he's enslaved a bunch! Oh, give me that carrot! Oh, he's getting rid of the fucking core. He's got experience. Ah, okay. So they're like skeletons essentially. They make the dirt a lot sturdier. Ah, it's interesting. Wow, okay. Oh! Ah! Yeah, I mean, yeah, but what crime is there? I'm but a simple farmer. Oh my god, we're getting into crop rotations. That's crazy. Yeah, make sure the nutrient levels are stable throughout. Oh my god, what's going on? What's he doing? Is he making like a... Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, you need like essentially the moss to take form again. They really are just farming golems. Oh, Leas, bro. He's like, oh, Senshi, you live the life I aspire to have. You don't want to waste that. Yeah, you don't have to waste. Ah, okay. Oh, that's kind of sad. Because it's like he's thinking about the times, maybe in the future, where the group parts. So he wants to keep his skills essentially checked. You know, for the time to, maybe in the future they leave. Oh my! Oishi! Yeah, magic, probably. Probably the magic vessel. You know, it's probably really useful to have, like, a halfling in your party, because they don't eat as much food. Oh my god, there really is a fucking economy down here. Oh! Oh my god, is it fucking golems there? Oh no! No! But that's not true though! Human poo is fertilizer, yeah, but it's not as good as like cow fertilizer. But I guess there's, you use what you can. Oh my god, I just realized he was slinging doo-doo water on the fucking golem a couple minutes ago. Damn, they going extinct. You gotta think about the ecosystem. So I thought we're getting a little bit of Senshi's philosophy here. Yeah! And plus it's gonna take some time for the golem to, like, rebuild. Ah, nice, nice. Damn! That's one fun thing to Japan, bro. Hell no. Oh, like these two. Oh, these two were the ones plundering that shit. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh my god. Maybe you can, like, turn it into sauerkraut or something. You can do pickling. I mean, I get you don't have jars and shit, but oh, the underworld. We're trading vegetables. Dang! No! What do you guys even eat if you don't eat vegetables? Oh my god, what happened? Oh, shit. Oh my god, they're going in! Are they just gonna ignore the... Oh, they're just gonna ignore these guys. They're going for the vegetables. Oh! Oh, no. Oh. Okay. Some plot stuff. Yo, that girl in the stomach is probably dead. Oh my god. Ain't no way she's alive. Oh, no trade. Oh, fuck. Damn. In the future, maybe? Oh. I mean, he knows them, and number two, you essentially get a guard to essentially escort you to the lower layers. This is actually smart as hell. Oh, we can make bread? Oh! Like, you sold our party to the orcs for loaves of bread? Oh, I love Senshi, bro. My man sold the entire party out for fucking bread. Damn. Damn, we getting a whole history lesson. I love it. We're getting the cooking and the lore building. World building, not lore building. Dang! Oh, yo! Oh, I love it. The fantasy racism. Oh, wow. The Mad Mage. I don't think he wants to be, adventuring that deep down anyways. He's just there for the adventure. Dang, more seal! Hey, we got some bread. Yeah, but it is our spoil. Dang, saved by a little kid. Let's go. Yeah, the things we learned in episode 2. You got nutrition. Ah, I love this show, bro. I don't think you want to kill their only chicken. That's probably their lifeline. Oh, what is that? It's like pita bread? Yeah, I love the fact that Marcel said that they're all a bunch of crooks, but she never apologized for it. I love it. Racist ass Marcel, cancel her. I don't think you want to tell the kid that. Ah, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so that was Dungeon Meshi episode 4. Wow, another fun episode, another fun one. We actually got two skits this time. I think last episode we only had one, and that was the sort of armor Mollusk thing. But here we got two. We got, starting off in the first part of the episode, essentially Senshi going around and farming off the back of these mud golems, which is hilarious. The fact that you got these like elemental monsters strutting around in this dungeon. And of course, since they're like made of dirt and shit, of course like fungi and moss and shit is gonna grow on the backs of these monsters, because it's not like they can reach them and take that shit out. So Senshi, being the fucking pragmatic opportunist that he is, he he goes and he plants seeds and and it's hilarious because it makes so much sense. It's like magic powered fuel essentially. I love it. And this is an amazing part of Dungeon Meshi's world building as well, because you get to see like, oh my god, Senshi throughout the last couple episodes, he's just been pulling vegetables out of nowhere. Like, where the fuck does he get these vegetables? And then you come into episode 4 and he goes, hey, let me make a stop real quick. I need to resupply. And he goes and he grabs his vegetables. Fucking fantastic. It's amazing. Of course, like a foodie like Senshi would, he would farm a little. Every dungeon foodie would farm a little. There's prime material for it. And I love the fact that it is 99% dirt, but Marcel did mention that there's like a 1%, of a little something extra, and she doesn't want to tell these guys what it is. It's fun. It probably is the reason why the food tastes so good to begin with, because it's like magic powered, magic infused, like carrots and shit. And then we get, right after the meal and right after essentially you kill the golems, quote unquote, you get sort of a deep dive into Senshi's philosophy around how he views the world and how he views sort of sustainable eating practices in the dungeon. To Senshi as a person, he believes in sort of doing what is right for the environment. He believes that when you take something from the environment, you must equally give something back. And he gives this whole reasoning as, there's this delicate balance between the creatures of the ecosystem and what you're allowed to sort of affect in that ecosystem. He mentions that, hey, if you kill too many monsters in a layer, well, that just means the monsters in the lower layer are just going to come up, occupy the space in the upper layer, and that means that the sort of adventurers aren't going to be they're not going to be able to traverse the the layered the same way they used to be, or they used to in the past. Like there's this delicate balance where you want to make sure that when you're taking something in, you're not going to affect it for future generations. Sustainable practices. Senshi is very much, he's got a green thumb. He's very much an environmentalist. He thinks a lot about these sort of things, and I appreciate it. And it just goes to show, just how much Senshi he takes pride in doing the sort of the work that he does, but not only that, sort of the depth of his knowledge, and sort of he has to have seen, maybe sometime when he was sort of learning all of this, cases in which maybe he took too much of one thing and the environment bit back. Senshi might not be the smartest person in the room, but he is very wise, and he is very knowledgeable about a specific craft, and that is cooking. That is, vegetables and shit. It's just, God, I love it. I love Senshi. I love that there's a whole gag, essentially at the very end, where he's like, I tried trading these, like, surplus vegetables that I had once, and I used an honor system. I put, essentially, vegetables on the counter, and I told people to, essentially, hey, take a vegetable, put a coin in, how much it's worth is dependent on you, and that's how I'm going to do business. And it's going to help people who aren't necessarily going to go all the way back up to the marketplace to essentially buy these vegetables. That's inefficient. So he essentially sets up like a makeshift stall in the middle of the dungeon. So it's like, an adventurer gets hungry, they walk by, and it's, oh shit, fresh veggies. I'm gonna throw a coin in, I'm gonna help this guy out, I'm gonna buy it. And it turns out, I love it, because it turns out Marcel and Chilchuk, they're like, oh fuck, so these are so that's why these treasure chests are filled with gold coins each time. I thought we were just looting the dungeon. I thought this was just some magic thing where the gold just keeps popping up in these treasure chests and we just get to loot them. I had no idea these were an honor system thing. I love it, bro, because it plays into the whole like dungeon diving trope where like, oh, you go into a treasure cave, you go into a cave, you find a treasure chest, you open it up, it's filled with gold. Here, they play on that trope, but they twist it a little where it's like, no, this is like an actual market transaction that Senshi's trying to do with other people. It just didn't work out because adventurers are pieces of shit. I love it. It's so much fun. But because Senshi doesn't do that anymore, he doesn't do the honor system, he goes out into this like shady area and he meets up essentially with a bunch of orcs. And this is where like a lot of the sort of the world building of the world starts happening, because you get to see sort of the history of the world slowly being drip fed to the audience. And this is one of the things that I love about Dungeon Meshi, is they don't do too much exposition. There is times where they do exposition, right? But the times that they do like sort of this the grander world stuff, they give you little bits and pieces of it. So in this case, right, where you have the orcs coming in, they're slaughtering everybody in the crook's den, the thieves' den. They kill everybody there. They loot it for food and shit, and they make a note. Hey, we live in the lower layer. Food is getting scarce down there. Food is very valuable down there. And in order for our tribe to, stay alive, we have to go up into the upper layer and sort of raid for pantries, raid for foodstuffs. It's this little subtle thing where it shows the audience, it's like, oh, wait, what is happening down there in the dungeon? Why is food, getting more scarce? Why is such and such? Why are these orcs living all the way down there? They seem fairly intelligent. Why aren't they living up, on the surface? And we do get that answer, when they're having the meal together, where it's like, oh shit, there's this big racial conflict. The elves, the humans, or in this case, the tallmen, the halfling, they all ganged up on the orcs. The orcs, for some reason, were known to slaughter a bunch of villagers and shit. The humans retaliated, drove the orcs into the caves. they delved deeper and deeper because the adventurers started flocking in search of gold, and because they didn't have any homes anyways, they were being hunted. It's like it's all these like little things that just they're drip feeding you, the audience, this knowledge, and it's so good, bro. I love Dungeon Meshi. That's all I gotta say. But yes, the orcs, they essentially kill everybody at the thieves' den. Senshi makes a deal with them. Hey, I know you guys want our food, our vegetables, without any recompense, but let's make a deal. You can take our stuff, but we get to go to your village alongside you. And that's a smart deal. That is so smart. Because you essentially get an escort all the way to the second layer. And it's better to just get an escort to protect you in case like a giant monster that you can't fight shows up than it is to go with, you know, like a party of 4 where, you know, you're weaker in a party of 4, right? Logistically, it's probably a bit easier to manage a party of 4, but in terms of raw firepower, it's probably a lot harder. So, you know, they go in as a group. The orcs don't trust these guys. They put them in a hen's coop. And then Senshi starts making bread, which is fun. You know, you break bread, and then you get this whole, you know, battle between Marcel and the orcs, and then they're talking about, oh, you know, fantasy racism, your racist shit, you guys are a bunch of crooks. Marcel is unhinged this episode. Oh my god. That is hilarious. I swear to God, bro. I personally find fantasy racism funny as shit. Especially like, oh, it's against elves or it's against dwarves or orcs and shit. It's a lot of fun, right? It adds to like the sort of the world that they're in. And it's like, oh yeah, these two races, they don't get along because of historical tension. You know, it's good fun world building. It adds like tension to the characters and shit. It's fun. I do hope people don't take it. Because I know, like, in other stories, there's one story in particular where there was fantasy racism and people lost their shit about it, which is crazy. It is, like, and it only happened for, like, fucking 10 seconds. And I get that the story itself was not very pleasant to watch to begin with, morally speaking. But, you know, it's fun. It's fun, and people got mad over it. So I don't know if people are going to get mad over this. I think not, because generally speaking, Dungeon Meshi is a very optimistic show. It's a very fun show. So if people get mad over this, then I don't know what's going on. But, you know, Marcel and the orc dude battling it out. Fun. They make bread. They make bread. They make essentially I think it's like a gyro. It's like Greek food. That's what it's called. Yeah, like a gyro, a gyro. But, you know, they use spicy stuff, and then Marcel goes, oh, you know, you may be a bunch of crooks, but, you make damn good food. it's so much fun. I love it. And I love that this whole, like, exchange, right? It hammers home sort of the themes of Dungeon Meshi, where it's like, food is important. Do not neglect food. Not only is it good for nutrition, but it's just like, it's a good bonding activity. You may be arguing, you may have your differences, but at the end of the day, everybody gets hungry. So, you know, why not take some flour, take some yeast, break some bread, make some bread, cook it over a fire, you know, make a whole bunch of stuff and eat together. And that's the way, you know, humans conflict. Because that's like the number one way. You know, despite all these language barriers and despite all these cultural differences, the number one ways humans are able to connect with each other is through food, through music, and through art. Through dance, through culture, and through just having a good time. That's what it is to be human, and that's what it is to be living. I don't want to say that that's what it is to be human, because there are other species out there like dwarves and halflings and orcs and shit. I don't want to discriminate against these people. But yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot this, but the fact that fucking Senshi sold his entire group out just to make some bread is the funniest fucking shit in the world. I love it. But yeah. Oh shit, and not only that, I was about to break it to the spoiler section, but we also got sort of at the very end a goal and an overall arcing sort of underlying mystery and question. So number one, we have information about the Red Dragon's whereabouts. And it seems like we're heading there right now. So maybe in like 2 or 3 episodes, I don't know how the manga did it, but maybe in 2 or 3 episodes we can get to the dragon. And then we got information about the Mad Mage, the Mad King. Anybody who slays the Mad King or the Mad Mage, they get to rule over this land, this dungeon, so to speak. So we have an underlying mystery. And the question is brought up to Senshi. It's like, hey, I know you guys are dungeon diving, and you guys probably don't have a goal besides maybe just making profit. But they did say that if you do reach the end of the dungeon and you kill the Mad Mage, you get to rule over all of this. What are you going to do when you get to that point? And then, Leios, he doesn't think that far, right? He's here for the adventure. He's here for the food. He's here to, play out his sick monster fetish. He doesn't know. So we have that question in the back of our minds where it's like, hey, Leios, if you do manage to kill it, what are you going to do? And it doesn't even have to be Leios. It could be some, avenging party. We did see a couple other people in the opening, so maybe it could be one of those. Right. It opens up a whole lot of stuff. So it's fun, right? It's so much fun. And I've always iterated this like in every single reaction video that I do. But Dungeon Meshi, it is primarily and it is quintessentially about food and what food brings and what food does to people. But it's not just about that. There is more to it. And I think that's what makes Dungeon Meshi special. So, anime-only viewers, stick around. I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's just shenanigans. It's, I don't like shenanigans. It's okay. It's whatever. I feel you. No, I feel you. So, anyways, I don't even know if I want to do a spoiler talk, honestly. Feels like I don't have much to say in terms of, like, spoilers. But, hey, let's do a spoiler talk. If you guys haven't read the manga, head out. I'll be spoiling manga shit. And if you guys have read the manga, stick around. We'll be talking about some stuff that happens in future seasons or future episodes, and maybe thematic elements that we're seeing take root in this episode. So, yeah. Now that everybody who has not seen the manga has left the video, we get introductions to the Mad Mage. The Mad Mage. Ooh, the Mad Mage. Damn. And if you guys are manga readers, you do know that I don't actually remember if Marcille was the one who slayed it. I do know that she essentially takes on the role, essentially, of the Mad King. And she rules over the dungeon, essentially because of her desire to, keep her friends close. Keep the sort of people around her present, because she is going to outlive the majority of them. So I'm glad that we're setting up the Mad Mage so early. I don't remember this happening in the manga. It could have happened, but this is like a new experience to me. It's like, wait a second, they set up this character way back when? I had no idea. It's fun. I don't remember if I'm remembering this correctly, but, it is cool. And then we had some, like, world-building stuff with, like, the orcs and the humans and the elves and the orcs being driven into the underworld. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember any of that shit. I'm gonna tell you guys, I have read the manga, but my knowledge of the details of the manga, like, I don't remember any of that shit, dude. This was a surprise. I was like, wait a second, we had orcs in the show? I know we had orcs. But they were down there in the dungeon because humans drove them down there? I don't remember that. That's crazy. But yes, I'm guessing this might be something to do with the Mad Mage or something, right? The Mad Mage, they go around, they mind controlled a bunch of orcs to essentially attack the humans, and because of that, they drove them down into the dungeon. Maybe that's it? Could be, I don't know. And it does, I don't remember, but it does seem like we're we're heading to the Red Dragon a lot quicker than what I initially thought. Because I always thought that we found the sister like in the midway point in the manga, and then we found her essentially almost dead. We stuck her on a chicken, and she becomes essentially a chimera hybrid. But this is episode 4, and I'm checking the manga. This is like essentially around episode 9 or 8 is where we left off. 9 or 8, that is crazy. We have 97 chapters here. I always thought we'd get the sister back around chapter like 30 maybe, chapter 40. But no, wow. I guess we get the sister fairly early then. Huh. I bet a bunch of you manga readers like, I can't believe this guy doesn't remember any of this shit. God, how he called himself a fan. It's like, I'm sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. I read this shit like fucking years ago. And I haven't even completed it, by the way. I don't know the ending to the story. I do know that it's like nearing completion or it's like already completed. I have like 10 chapters left I need to read. I think I left off on like chapter like 90 or something. Chapter 85 or something like that. So 11 or 10 chapters I, need to read. We also get some things about Senshi, and this is probably the main reason why I wanted to open a spoiler talk at the very end, because Senshi, we know Senshi is a dwarf. He grew up essentially in the dungeons, and he was forced to grow up and fend for himself at a very young age. And the majority of that being his party got fucked up, and he was essentially starving for days on end without food. And you can see that in the way he sort of conceptualizes how he thinks about scarcity, how he thinks about sort of the environment around him. Because he had to be resourceful as a kid to even stay alive. So living for so long in the dungeon has probably shaped his view on how you need to treat it. Because a lot of the adventurers up in the surface, they're coming in with sort of an extractive mindset. They don't live in the dungeon, so they don't care about sort of the ecosystem that is in here. They're coming in here for gold. They're coming in here for treasure. So when they go in, they'll just take whatever they need and then leave. Very extractive. In the case of Senshi, because the dungeon is essentially his home, you can see how that sort of manifests in the way he thinks about it. Because it's like, no, I don't want to fuck with my home. I don't want to mess it up. This is where I live. And it's also brilliant because Senshi's a weird guy, right? He's a really weird guy. You can tell something's off with him. And I'm guessing probably one of the reasons why is because he stayed down there in the dungeon for so long with essentially minimal human interaction. Very minimal. He's probably just been by himself this entire time. Just wandering alone, eating food. It's a very sad existence, but God. And I want to say that there was like a Chilchuk moment as well, where it's like foreshadowing some Chilchuk stuff, where Marcel essentially, as they were eating food, they finish eating, Marcel grabs the plate. Essentially, she takes on more than she needs, so it's just essentially like, oh, I'm trying to be very useful to people around her, which is fun. It's fun, like, character stuff for Marcel, because we do know, like, Marcel in the future, that is one of her biggest insecurities. But then we see Chilchuk essentially not doing shit. He's not doing shit. He's laying on the ground. Marcel is telling him, "Hey, Chilchuk, help us out." It's like it's a 1 second thing. It's very fast. But Marcel's getting up. He's like, "Chilchuk, help us out." Chilchuk does not give a fuck. He's laying. He is happy as all shit, and that's the scene. And in my mind, because it's been a while, right? I don't know exactly the finer details. But I do know that Chilchuk is a deadbeat dad. He's one of my favorite deadbeat dads in all fiction. But he is a deadbeat dad. And I don't remember what their argument was that started his journey into the dungeon. Because he had an argument with his wife or something. And he essentially abandoned them to go dungeon diving. I'm assuming this is another case of just like clever characterization on the author's part. Where it's like, Chilchuk just doesn't want to do the dishes. And of course, that's going to piss off the wife. Of course, they're going to get into arguments. Again, it's showcasing, hey, Chilchuk is not a good husband. Not a very good husband. I thought that was fun. I thought that was a very fun one. I also thought there was like another Marseille like moment there that was like very fundamental to the character, but I forgot what it was. But yeah, great episode, great episode. Um, yeah. Anyways, if you liked the video, like the discussion, reaction, I don't really got anything else to add, so I'll end it. Take care. See you next time. Peace, peace.